Hey everybody, I have a kind of a weird thing on my head. A Michelangelo type thing. I'm just going to look for a slightly less weird filter here. I like this one. There we go. How is everybody? Someone was saying to me the other day, you shouldn't use filters, you should just be natural. And they didn't even have their profile picture on their Facebook account. So, Anyway, how is everybody? Hope you're all really well. So if you tried to join me for the chanting on Zoom today, I'm really sorry. I think I've worked out what the problem has been, which is that I hadn't set it as a recurring meeting. Susan, I saw you there, so well done for making it. I just don't know what happened. So I've got a few things I want to talk about regarding the Zoom. We are chanting every day on Zoom, and I think I fixed the problem. So as you can see, I have a slightly different setup now. I've got my desk here, so I'm no longer sitting on the floor. So because I'm writing I'm actually writing my new Moonology Oracle cards, and they're beautiful. And so I can have my computer right in front of me, which is great. And I'm looking at the chart for right now. Actually, let's do that right now, because that's not right now. That's right now. Okay, so the moon is void of course. The moon is void of course. So don't start anything new here. Someone's saying, what's the chanting? The chanting is chanting to the goddess Kali, K-A-L-I, Kali. And we've been doing it on and off since, I think, March or something. A bit more off than on lately, but I've been on, but nobody's been able to find me. One person found me today, and then by the end of it, we had about 15 people, but normally we get 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. It's a really, really nice chanting group. And we're chanting to the goddess Kali because she's the goddess of epidemics. And I read an interesting thing because, obviously the pandemic is still going, and it's been bad in everywhere, including in India, where the chanting is coming from. And I was reading the other day about the fact that apparently, even though there's been a lot of the virus in India, obviously because they're such a massive country, but guess what? They have one of the fastest recovery rates in the world. And actually, this was being attributed to the fact that in the Indian diet, there are lots of herbs and spices which are thought to sort of counter the virus, and including turmeric. And I thought, well, maybe it's the chanting. You never know. You never know. We use the chanting especially for getting rid of fear, upset, disease, virus, anything. It's on at 10:30 a.m. London time, and you can sign up for it in if you go to my Yasmin Boland page, which you're on right now, and then events. I hope you're on my Yasmin Boland page right now. And then you go to events, then you'll get it there. Oh, Justine says she jumped on and she didn't know the chant. Yeah, so normally I hold it up, but today was just so chaos trying to getting it on there. Normally I hold up the chant for 5 minutes, and then after 5 minutes, hopefully you've learned it because it's very simple. And then I set that aside, and then we all chant for 10 minutes out loud, and then we chant the last 5 minutes silently, and it's beautiful. So there you go. So one thing I wanted to talk to you about today is the fact that what's going on social media is so written in the stars, so to speak. And actually, I should mention written in the stars as well. Basically, I don't know if you're aware, but people are jumping off WhatsApp left, right and centre. People obviously are leaving Facebook, they're leaving Twitter, all this. People are going to different platforms. There's MeWe that people are going to. I don't know if you know about Clubhouse, which is this new audio-only app, which I've been listening to a lot. I haven't done anything on there. I've just listened so far. And, people are leaving WhatsApp for Signal because WhatsApp's going to change, and Now Apple are changing what's happening with marketing so that, you know, you can choose whether or not you want to be retargeted by people. I personally have no problem with being retargeted. I don't understand why I don't get it, but to me, I'm just like, well, I don't care. Like, I've been known to click on a website because I don't have time in the moment. I think, well, if I click here, they'll probably retarget me and I can come back to it. But a lot of people don't like that, which is fair enough. And so anyway, things are changing on the digital landscape. And I just wanted to say it's so written in the stars. Now, often with astrology, things are not clear in advance. You know, it's like even the best astrologers in the world, I think, will tell you astrology is much easier in retrospect. It's so easy to see, yes, that makes complete sense. And I think what's going on here is something that, you know, like when I was looking at the Saturn square Uranus series we've got this year, I was thinking, okay, well, for one thing, when I looked at it a year and a half ago, first of all, you know, I knew it was going to be chaos. That's a given. Like, there are some things in astrology which are just a given. Let me just show you this book that I use for anyone who's into astrology. It was actually given to me or recommended to me by someone, look, you can see the state of it, when I was first learning astrology. It's called Keywords for Astrology. Hi, Aoife. Long time no see. And it's... basically, it gives you all the words for astrology, because basically astrology is an art of keywords. Okay, so at the moment this year, we've got Saturn, which is the government, for example, or the boss, or corporations. It's anything kind of like big business. Square, so a square is always, I'll just take that out there. A square is always, it doesn't want to go. A square is always going to be, it's like an itch that you have to scratch. And Uranus is the planet of chaos, rebellion, chaos theory, unpredictability, mavericks, you know, uprisings, everything we've seen this week in Washington, which was people rising up against, well, in the Capitol, which is, you know, nothing says people uprising in the Capitol building in Washington, DC, like Saturn square Uranus. And we haven't even got there yet. We're just warming up for this. Okay, so, and again, you know, nothing says people fighting against lockdown like Saturn square Uranus. Because Saturn's the government telling people what to do. Saturn is the old, Uranus is the new. And, you know, it's always going to be a clash between these two. So what's been going on in America now is very Saturn square Uranus. And, you know, the whole idea that here we are in 2021. Now, we said last year that the Jupiter-Pluto conjunctions were the beginning, the middle, and the end. Well, they weren't actually the end, but it was basically the week of the third and final Jupiter conjunction, which won't happen again for another 13 or so years, that we got the vaccine, okay, which is the next step to getting out of this pandemic. But what's actually happened is what we were always worried about and hoped wouldn't happen, which is more lockdown. You know, here in London, we are in basically full lockdown at this point. We're basically not supposed to leave the house. We can't see our friends except for one person at a time for a walk around the block, you know, for exercise, that's it. Now, and I'm fine. I don't mind. I love being at home with my family way too much. Okay, but it's Saturn square Uranus is going to be those people who are really, and I'm going to swear here, so if you're very sensitive, put your fingers in your ear now, people who are really pissed off, okay? And there are plenty of people who are really beep off because they either they believe the virus is a hoax, or they're young enough to think that they're not going to be hurt by it or whatever. And there are going to be people who are peed off. And that again is very Saturn square Uranus. So, you know, all that's fine, but that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is the fact that it's so interesting. Astrology is so amazing because actually another thing that Saturn square Uranus is transpiring as we move towards the first one is the disruption of the digital world. okay, with people leaving Facebook, and then they started Parley, which was more or less for people who were more conservative and didn't want to have all the liberals on their feed. And now Amazon and Facebook and all those other platforms have banned Parley because they said it was citing civil unrest, Saturn square Uranus. Uranus is also digital, it's technical, it's about the future. It's just the way the whole digital landscape is like basically experiencing an earthquake is so Saturn square Uranus. And if there are any astrologers out there, please back me up so people know I'm not just making this up as I go along. This is fact. This is astrological fact. So it's just kind of interesting to see how it's all playing out, basically. See how it's all playing out. So there you go. Digital disruption. I just wonder, actually, I just got a thought. I wonder if they're going to try and clamp down on astrology, the government, somehow. Because Saturn square Uranus could also mean that. We'll see, you know, like they're going to say, you're all witches, we're all going to burn you at the stake. So Alicia says, how long will Saturn square Uranus last for? It lasts all year, and it basically, I think it's February, I think it's June, and then it's November, December. Like it's basically the whole year. The whole year. So today we are under the Sagittarius void of course moon for a while. So what should we do when the moon is void of course? Just be. So if you are lucky enough, says Kika, will need astrology speakeasies, exactly. If you're lucky enough to be able to just be today, just be. All right, so I'm going to draw a card. I already did one card in the chanting, a Kali card, and we got kind of one of the scary ones, but someone there, the person, Simone, who basically, who was the only person on the Zoom chanting for about the first 5 minutes, said that card was for her. So I'm going to see if I can get a nice Kali card now. Who's prepared for a Kali card? And then I think I'm not going to use this deck anymore because they scare me. They scare me. Sorry, Alana. They're so frightening. They're scarier than tarot. But anyway, Simone took it very well. All right, what have we got here? Kaladara. Look at that. The cards are absolutely beautiful. They're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I probably need to do Alana's Kali course to get over my fear. All right, are you ready? Kaladara. When hope is lost and a way forward cannot be sensed, Kaladara arises as a reminder of the endless creativity and resourcefulness of the divine feminine. She is not bound by appearances, opinions, or material limitations. She is both the void and the infinite creative potential that arises from it. Do not be afraid of uncertainty. If you find you are without resources, take comfort now. Where there is lack, she restores abundance. She can bring forth exquisite blessing and glorious manifestation from the sacred expanse of nothingness. So this is a really good message for anyone who is doing it tough financially. Your soul can rely upon her completely. Cast your fears away. Hers is the power of the universe combined with the generosity of grace. So there you go. There you have it. All right. There you go. All right, so the new moon is coming. Let me just tell you exactly when that's going to be. The new moon is going to be, all right, it's in 2 days' time on the 13th of January. Yes, the moon is void, of course, right now, Teresa. At 5 a.m. UK time on the 13th of January. So I'm pretty sure I will be doing, it'll be in my event section, but I'm guessing it will be new moon on Wednesday, I'll probably do a new moon ceremony around midday UK time. And then for those of you who are, what are we up to? Is it Pisces rising? If you're Pisces rising, you get your special written in the stars event the day after the new moon. Oh, Justine, I'm glad you like my new office. Yes. And for those of you who don't have my diary yet, I'm telling you, even though they did the reprint, we are literally about to sell out. It's sold out on Hay House UK, Hay House USA, Waterstones in the UK. I'm not sure about Booktopia, but if you want to get a copy, get it now. Someone said, is it too late? No, there are some copies left. And if you do have it, let me just tell you, because some people are saying, I'm not sure how to use it. I've done a whole video about that. But for example, now you just go a bit in advance, page 34. You get all about this new moon in Capricorn, which is coming up in 2 days' time. And it tells you all about the new moon in Capricorn. It tells you how to work out where it's taking place in your chart. Gives you an affirmation for the new moon. People are saying, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Don't feel overwhelmed. Just read that. And it's all you have to do. Just read about the new moon and then join me online and we'll do a ceremony together and you'll understand what it's all about, what time it is, because we've got all the times around the world. And yeah, so we are, what is it today? The 11th. So to give you an example, like today, and then you get to make your new moon wishes and intentions. And don't forget that on January the 23rd, if you have my diary, I'm doing a big workshop, free for people who've got the diary, Kickstart 2021 Moon Manifesting Workshop, which I'm really looking forward to because I love a good workshop. And that is free if you have the diary. Yeah, so here, for example, January the 11th, and we've got the little moon thing. You can see it's nearly a new moon, and it's moving. The moon is moving from Sagittarius into Capricorn ahead of the new moon on the 13th of 5 a.m. So if you don't have it and you want it, grab it because it is about to sell out, and that's it. There are no more copies, that's for sure. Chrissy, hi Yasmin, where do we buy what? Sorry, I missed that. Let me have a look. Where do we buy the yearly chart? The yearly chart. I don't know what the yearly chart is. This is your yearly chart now, Chrissy. This has got everything about the whole year in it. Oh, and by the way, if you get it from the link above, you get $245 worth of freebies, which includes the Moon Manifesting Kickstart 2021 workshop, and it also includes a 79-page e-zine, and it includes a beautiful chart that I was lucky enough to be allowed to offer everybody. Plus, you'll go in the draw for a sacred mala, and they are literally selling out now. So if you want one, now's the time to get it, also in time for the new moon. All right, so that's it. People are saying, when's the chanting? The chanting is 10:30 a.m. every morning on Zoom, and I believe I've fixed up the thing that was broken there. So I'll see you guys. Oh, Emma says, how do we join the workshop? Very good question. So when you buy the diary, if you already have it or you buy it now, click the link. I never can remember if it's above or below. I think it's below actually, but it might be above. Click the link, okay, register the diary, right? Then you get, yes, Marina, if you have the diary, still do this. Click the link and you go and you can put in your diary details, your transaction number and so on. And then there's a secret password that you will find in the diary, okay? And then you get all the freebies. But the freebies are not automatic. You don't just go and buy the diary in a bookshop or on Amazon or whatever, and then automatically I somehow psychically intuit your email address and send them to you. You have to register to get the freebies. And there's $245 worth of freebies. We went crazy this year because I was so busy that some things I normally would have sold, I said, you know what, let's just give them all in as freebies to say thank you to people who buy the diary. So there you go. Any more questions about the diary? Kika, the Zoom link is on the events page for the daily chanting. Any more questions? The moon is void, of course. Just chill, man. All right. Oh, we did a card. We did a card. Anything else? Or should I just see you tomorrow? Lots of love, everybody. Mwah, mwah, mwah. See you tomorrow.